Yeah, Kylie, this video within hours went viral. You couldn't even open up a social media feed without Cosmo and the Cougarettes showing up on it. And honestly, it's quite impressive. Yeah, that's right, Kylie and Andrew. If you look behind me, I'm here at the indoor practice facility for BYU football. Just wrapping up their first week of spring practice. The Cougars are coming off one of the worst seasons in program history. The Cougars take on San Francisco in the Marriott Saturday and look to go on a winning streak heading towards the WCC tournament. Hopefully, they can also make an NCAA tournament run. BYU will play in the $1 million facility. The things that will change, the Cougars will no longer play on dirt or on grass, but they will play on a full turf field.
Thanks, Jeff. Do you think the Cougs will be able to pull it off?
Kylie, Gonzaga is in first place right now, and they've only lost one game in conference and only have 2 games that they've lost the whole season at home. Last time they met here in Provo, BYU lost by 14 points. BYU have to bring everything and then some if they want to pick up a win. BYU under Dave Rose has not missed the postseason. If the Cougars didn't make the NIT, this would be the first season since 1998. I'm live in the indoor practice facility. As you can see behind me, Fred Warner participating in his only pro day event. He was a great standout in the NFL Combine. Well, looks like he'll go either the second or third day in the draft. But of course, Jonah Trinnaman and Tijon Karoma, very much so value of their stock going into the draft has gone up. Trinnaman was able to record a pretty quick 40 time, and Tijon Karoma was able to put up 32 reps on the bench press. Coming up, I'll go ahead and show you inside the practice interviews and get an interview with some of the participants of Pro Day. Pro Day has been a success for BYU. Jonah Trinnaman and of course Tijon Karoma showing what they've had. All the events have wrapped up. The only event left right now is Fred Warner finishing up. But right now we're going to take you into the scrum and get a better look and hear from the players that participated in Pro Day.
A Sports Beat presentation. Game Night Live kicks off now.
Awesome. For the second straight year, the rain didn't stop the BYU Cougars or their fans from wrapping up spring practice with their yearly spring game. The biggest question this spring, will who be running the offense from under center? Bo Hodge showed that he can be the front guy for the Cougars, threading that pass, able to get it between 2 defenders. He went 2 for 4 on the day and ran for 32 yards. Right here, sophomore Joe Critchlow also impressed, throwing 9 for 12 on 130 yards with this score going to his go-to target, Micah Simon. Not many questions coming out of the backfield as Squally Canada running this into the end zone. He had 3 touchdowns on the day. On the other side of the ball, the defense showing what they can do with this deflected ball. Coach Grimes, after the scrimmage, said there was some good and bad things from the game.
I think it was a good finish, but I think it could have been better, and I think we practiced a little bit better at times than we did today.
The Aggies are coming off a 6-7 season. Coach Matt Wells starting his 5th season as head coach, looking to get his team back to a bowl game, and it starts in the springtime. Utah State, of course, holding their spring scrimmage in a rainy Utah day. Jordan Love comes out, firing down the field, finding his target, Dax Raymond, for 41 yards. Love going deep to find his go-to guy, Ronquavian Tarver. Tarver was amazing in this game. He was being targeted multiple times and caught the ball multiple times as well. Right here on the next play, Love didn't waste any time, found him in the corner in the end zone for the score. The offensive ended the day with 172 yards and a touchdown. But the real star of the day was this little guy. Utah State has a young fan participate each year in the spring game. This kid went 30 yards for the touchdown, and in all reality, a great memory to be able to be on the field with those players. Now after the game, Coach Wells says there is some unfinished business with this team.
There's a taste in your mouth that didn't finish right from the New Mexico State game and the Arizona Bowl, and I think that's motivated these guys through the off season, and we got to find a way to take it from good to great.
The Utah Jazz will be in the playoffs and taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder, no matter the outcome of tonight's game. But what does matter, the seeding. The Jazz can lock in the 3rd seed or drop to the 5th. The Jazz are in Portland to take on the Blazers and secure that 3rd seed. Damian Lillard dropping the 3. He had a different idea for the evening, an early 6-point lead. On the other end, Favors with the block. He leads it ahead, gives it to Ingles, finds some space, and throws it down. The lead got cut to 2 there, but that's as close as we get for the Jazz. McCollum drops this 3 from deep. Blazers go up by 10. McCollin, he had a night right here getting the up and under, gets it to fall. He had 19 points on the night. Lillard had the hot hand. He had 36 points and 10 assists, including that three. Right here, Donovan Mitchell, he's trying to keep the Jazz close, gets them in within 9 at the end of the half. But Lillard and the Blazers run away with this thing in the second half, 102-93. The Jazz will get the 5th seed in the playoffs. Coach Schneider says this game can help the team.
We ran out of gas a little bit, and Portland did that to us by the way that they guarded us. They were physical, they were tough, and we have to be the same. So any game you play, you have a chance to take something from it, and we can do that tonight. I don't want to get too much into kind of analyzing this game and what we did and didn't do. We have a good idea of what happened, and we need, like I said, we need to move forward.
The Utah Jazz are in the NBA playoffs for the 2nd straight year. They get the 5th seed and take on the 4th-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. The Jazz have struggled with the Thunder all season long, only winning one of the 4-game series. Of course, all of those games came before the Jazz went on their second half scoring season run where they were able to put down multiple wins. Oklahoma is 5-5 in the last 10 games of the season, while the Jazz are coming in at 7-3. The series will start in Oklahoma Sunday at 4:30. There is one big change this year for BYU baseball, and it doesn't have to do with players or coaches. It's their new field at Miller Park. BYU will play in the $1 million facility. The things that will change, the Cougars will no longer play on dirt or on grass, but they will play on a full turf field. The synthetic turf has rubber pellets and little sand in it to have it play like a real field. Most would think this could impact a team negatively. Senior second baseman Brennan Anderson thinks it does the exact opposite.
As long as I'm getting true hops out there, I'm going to have the opportunity to make a play, and I get that best chance on this field, so I'm excited to play on it.
Full triangle.
Head coach Mike Littlewood says there is probably one situation that can get hard.
The big adjustment is probably going from this turf to natural grass and dirt.
Littlewood says his players have been playing so long they can adjust to different surfaces fairly quickly. The Cougars are 5-3 this year on the new turf. Last year, the Cougars only lost 6 games all season at home. We'll all have to wait and see how much it will affect the team, but for now, we can all agree with Brendan Anderson.
I mean, it's just pretty to look at, so we'll take that.
Reporting at Miller Park, Jeff Brinton, Y Sports. That's right, the BYU women's basketball team started the season very slow. Heading into conference play, they had lost 6 games and only won 5. Since then, a lot of things have changed.
Tough reverse layup.
The Cougars in conference play have been a different beast as they have gone 10-5. Head coach Jeff Judkins says his team has lost some games they should have won, but there is only one thing that really matters.
You know, all that matters we win that tournament. That's all that matters really. So hopefully we're playing our best ball for that.
The WCC tournament is nearing in as the Cougars only have 3 games left. They are currently ranked 3rd in the WCC behind Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Senior captain Cassie DeVagere knows it's crunch time.
We know we're in a battle and we're trying to get second place to have an advantage in the tournament.
After a huge win last night against Pepperdine, 78-43, Coach Jeff Judkins likes what he is seeing in his team.
I promise you tomorrow, I'm going to show them probably 5-10 minutes of this game tonight, show them those clips and say, this is what we need, keep it up.
The Cougars will most likely need to win the final 3 games to move into the 2nd seed. 2 of those games will be played at home in the Marriott Center. The last 3 games will be against San Diego this Saturday and next week against Portland and Gonzaga before the conference tournament that starts in 2 weeks on March 1st.
Thanks, Jeff. Do you think the Cougs will be able to pull it off?
Kylie, Gonzaga is in first place right now and have only lost 1 game in conference and only have 2 games that they've lost the whole season at home. Last time they met here in Provo, BYU lost by 14 points. BYU have to bring everything and then some if they want to pick up a win. That's right, Andrew. As you see, the women's basketball team lost, but of course tomorrow the men's team has a lot on their hounds this weekend heading into the tournament. The first challenge is getting through San Diego, who beat BYU less than 2 weeks ago. The good news for the Cougars, the stats are on their side. BYU has advanced past the first round of the tournament 5 out of the 6 seasons that BYU has been part of the WCC.
The reason why we play the games, and we don't just figure out on a phone the statistics of who's going to win or not. And let's win the first one, and then we'll start talking about what's next.
BYU may have an advantage, as San Diego will not have their head coach Lamont Smith, as he was accused this last week of domestic violence. Yoli Childs believes not only does it affect BYU, but it doesn't change much for San Diego.
I think when it comes to a time like this, when it's a conference tournament and it's a team looking to make the NCAA tournament, I think you're just going to come out and play as hard as you can no matter what the situation is, no matter what's going on.
With that being said, BYU's next challenge if they beat San Diego will be to take on St. Mary's, who they didn't beat at all this season. Since joining the conference, BYU has only made it to the final twice. On the other hand, Gonzaga, in the last 18 years, has only lost 3 times in the final. With all that in mind, Yoli is pretty confident in his team.
I think this team's built to win a tournament like this. We don't have to do anything special. Guys just have to do their jobs, trust each other, and people will be shocked, but we won't be.
Let's face it, all BYU fans hope Yoli is right because the Cougars are not heading to the NCAA tournament unless they win the championship game. What is even more scary, if the Cougars don't win the first game tomorrow over San Diego, the Cougars will not even make the NIT tournament. BYU under Dave Rose has not missed the postseason. If the Cougars don't make the NIT, this would be the first season since 1998-1999 season, so the Cougars looking to pick up a win.